How's everybody doing? My name is Doug Uhlenbrock, and I am the Director of Events. This is Barb Filer. She is the Events Manager. We're here to talk a little bit about FMCA is Another Day in Paradise convention that's going to be coming up here in about 6 weeks. We're getting closer and closer. It's really starting to come upon us, and got a lot of things to talk about. And I know we've received some questions from folks, and I want to thank you for sending those in. I'm sure we'll have some more here before we're done coming from the folks who are watching. But what I wanted to start with today, it's something that everybody's going to be seeing probably here in the next few weeks, is our confirmation packet. We started putting these together and sending them out yesterday. So I want to just kind of go through a little bit about what's all included here, what you're going to find, what you need to be looking for, so that when it does arise, you can make sure that you have everything you need to get to the facility, get parked, and be kind of on your way to starting the event. So your envelope will look very similar to that. It'll say, please open. We do want you to please open. Surprisingly, we have a lot of people show up who have never opened the envelope. They just show up. And they don't know what's inside. They don't know, what they're supposed to do when they show up. So please open the envelope, look through all the things that you're going to get. This is our confirmation booklet. It includes a lot of different information about what's going to be happening at the ground, some of the rules and regulations, some of the things you need to look for, some of the entertainment, things like that. But probably the most important thing in this whole booklet are the directions. When we put this together, we work with the folks at the fairgrounds and the local authorities to make sure that we're not tying up the streets around the grounds or in the town that we're visiting. So we have different areas for different people depending on what kind of parking you selected. So find a type of parking that you selected on this list and then follow those directions there. Perry is one of the easiest places to get into because it is almost dead off of I-75. You'll come off the highway, you'll drive down a road, and then you will be there. We use probably about 4 or 5 different gates depending on what type of parking you have. And when you come into that gate, you'll be greeted by some of our parking team attendants. They will get you lined up, and then you'll be taken to your parking spot. Back in 2019, this plan really worked well. We have people coming off both the 135 and 134 exit, which makes it very, very easy to get into the ground without a whole lot of traffic tie-ups. Like I said, Perry's really a great place for us to be able to do this and utilize multiple entries to the facility. It's not always easy to do such a thing in other places, but Perry has good access. There are some other things in the booklet you're going to find. There's some of our different events that we have, the Magic Mile, Whiskers, Supersized Book Club, some information about our entertainment, some safety things that we want you to be aware of as far as carbon dioxide, heat stroke, driving carts around, making sure you're safe that way. And then on the back we have some information about the area, some of the nearby grocery stores and places like that, pharmacy, that type of thing, so that if you need to find one of those places, it's right at your fingertips. Also included in the packet is, for this event, our COVID information. We have instituted a number of protocols and things that we're going to be doing. It's all explained on this sheet. The front and the back, please look at both. Masks are mandatory, as you will see. We want social distancing and a lot of other things that you'll find on this. Hopefully it's very helpful. I'm sure we'll have other questions about it, and we will certainly answer those. But this is a good starting point. One of the things we're going to do is on opening day. That's usually when the exhibit halls are the most crowded. Everybody kind of wants to run in and get their shopping done. And what we're going to be asking folks to do at this event is, if you don't have to go in there the first day, we're asking that you don't. Just let that day go by and then go back the next day when it's a little bit less crowded. If you have to go, if it's something that you just have to do, and we're not going to stop anybody from doing it, but if If you have to go, here's what we like to do. From 12, we're going to open the exhibit halls an hour earlier than we normally do. Normally we start at 1. We're going to move it up to 12. So at 12 o'clock, we're going to have letters, what is it, A through K have access to the Miller Murphy Howard building, and L through Z have access to the Georgia Grown. At 2:30, we're going to flip those letters. So then Georgia Grown will have the A through K, and Miller Murphy Howard will have the L through Z. What we're trying to do is break up the number of people who are going to be going in there and not having to sit at the door and stop people from overcrowding. We don't want that to happen. I'm sure you don't want it either. But we need your cooperation and help in doing this. If if your last name starts with A through K, and if one spouse is if you have different names and one spouse is A and the other one is M, I don't care if you come together. It's not going to be that big a deal. But I do want folks to please cooperate if you can do so. It'll make life a lot better for everybody if you can. We're going to make sure the exhibitors aren't going to run out of anything just because the first wave came in and bought everything up. We're going to ask our exhibitors to make sure that whatever it is that they might have a special on or whatever they have that might sell out quickly, to hold that back for those who are coming later. So, and this is just for the first day. Once we get on to Thursday, then the halls will all be open and you can go in there at your leisure. So that's one of the things that we're going to try to manage our numbers going in. If we do find that we're getting a little bit too crowded, we'll start pulling people at the door and holding them until we get some more people out of there, as they've done at grocery stores and Walmarts and different places. I don't really want to do that, and I don't think we have to if folks kind of follow this idea that we're working with here. In our exhibit halls, just a quick note, we are going to have one-way traffic. Means you're going to go in one door and you're going to come out another. You're not going to go backwards through that door. Now, in Miller Murphy Howard, it's very easy, and what we're going to be able to do is create 3 separate entry and exit areas for the different aisles. So we'll have one entrance and exit for aisle 100 and 200, one separate entrance and exit for 300 and 400, and another one for 500 and 600. So you can go in 100 and snake your way all the way through to 600, or you can go in 100 and come out 200, and then go back in 400 or 500 and 600 and skip the middle portion, or you can just go to the middle portion. But what we would like to do is just make sure that we're all heading in the same direction. You can get out. You don't have to start at the beginning. You can start closer to the end or closer to the area you want to. So it's a little bit hard to explain. We'll have some information out that hopefully does a better job than I do talking about it. In the Georgia Grove building, it's a smaller setup, so we're going to have one entrance and we're going to have one exit, main exit. There is a secondary exit you can go to, but there will just be one entrance into the building. And that's right across from the lake. If folks who have been there before, you'll know what I'm talking about going into that building. All right, let me take a breath here.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the app next? With that app, or
why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
Okay.
I'll take a drink of water. You ain't kicking me out.
All right. So in the confirmation packet too, this is just really we kind of put everything all together. I can't talk either. In this packet, but there's a section here, and it's our event app. This will be the third or fourth time we've used this app. It is an excellent tool. You need a smartphone. It's Android or Apple, but this is going to be a key to your success for this event. You don't have to touch anything but your phone. You don't have to carry books around. The entire show and any kind of pushes, any kind of change, any update will all come through this app. And we highly recommend that you use this, get it on your phone right away. We're here to help you. Any of the staff members can help you put it on. There's even members who know how to help you put it on. And just get this going for yourself and get ahead of the game. This will put you way, way ahead of things. Also will be the safest thing. We'd also like you to even evaluate things through this. There's games on this, so please, please, please take a look at this section of the book and get that going.
It would be great if we get everybody to use the app. It would solve a lot of our problems, especially at this event. We are going to have to during our seminars, we're going to have to take some attendance rolls to make sure we know who's there for contact tracing. If we have folks using the app, we can do that electronically. You can check into the seminar and let us know that you're there. So we really, really, really would love for our numbers of people who are using this to explode at this event. It really is a terrific thing, and folks who have used it, I can promise you, they have responded greatly to this, and it's really very simple to use. Don't be afraid of it. We'll send some information out once it's available. Typically, we have it ready to go about 2 weeks ahead of time. That way, you can get in there, start looking at all the seminars and all the different activities, and creating your own schedule, your own personal schedule. I really highly recommend it. And if there's any time that we could really use something like this, we have it, and this is the event for it. So please check it out, download it, start using it. We'll have the program there. If you, for some reason, you're just struggling with it and can't get what you're looking to do with it, but I really encourage everyone to give it a try. It's a terrific addition to what we've been doing here these last few years. And people, like I said, people who've used it have responded incredibly. They are so happy to have it and get rid of that, carrying around that program. Because really, it is a program plus more in your pocket.
I wanted to stress one more thing with the app. It's a personal device where if you click on things, it doesn't mean you signed up for anything. We don't see your schedule or how many people are going to a craft. You have to, if it's a sign up situation, you have to physically go and write your name down. But it's just like a personal, am I making that clear? Like if you say I'm going to a certain seminar, that doesn't mean if the seminar's full, that we don't know that through the app. Only you know that you're assigned yourself to that. It does confuse me. All right, what's next coming out of that envelope?
Well, also in the envelope, you're going to get your badges. And for most folks, they'll get yellow badges that look very similar to that. We do have those who are disabled have asked for disabled parking and badges. They'll have bluer badges. That's all right. That's all right. It's a light blue badge. So, whatever you decide to sign up for, if you're disabled and you want disabled parking, you're gonna get blue badges. If if you're just a family member haven't asked for disabled, you'll get yellow badges. Also in your packet, you will receive. Well, you want to talk about that? Okay. For those who are first timers, we sent out a little kind of booklet to kind of give you a heads up on how things are going to go since this is your first time. Just a little introduction on what you need to do as you arrive, get parked, those types of things. And then we'll have more information once you are there through our first timers orientation and our mentors program where they do walk-arounds on that's on Tuesday. And basically our mentors will walk you around in groups the facility, showing you where different things are, pointing out the different places that you'll be visiting while you're taking part in the event. We will give you a card to put in your windshield indicating that you are a first timer. That lets our parking team know that you've never done this before and they need to be giving you maybe some additional instruction, be a little more patient with you. And you also get a ribbon that goes onto your badge. Now, when you do this, be very careful. If you get one of the fabric badge holders and try and put that on it, it will fall off. It'll fall off and it'll be gone. So make sure that you figure out a way to either get that connected really good or slide it down inside so people can see it. Because although it's got the sticky stuff, and the sticky stuff does work if you put it on a piece of plastic, it won't work on the fabric badge holders. So just be a little careful with that. Let's do these first,
okay.
Because then we go into that. when you chose to come, you decided on what kind of parking you wanted. And basically, we have a number of different cards that we're going to be giving out, depending on what type of parking you decided. We got 30 amp, we got 50 amp, we got full 50 amp, full 30 amp. That's 24-hour generator. And then we got no generator. Then we got external generator. And then we've got 24-hour generator and external, and then just generator, which is our basic family general parking. So as you can see, there's a lot of options and a lot of different parking that's going to be going on there. It's very important that you have that in your windshield. So our parking team, when they see that, they know where you need to go. It's very important. You know, we have people going to different lots, but we still need that in your windshield so folks know that you are in the right place and that you need to get parked in a certain lot. You can.
We pack manually, so if this is wrong, if you get your packet and this is not what you think you should have, get a hold of us and we will work it out with you right away. If not, sometimes we can arrange a will call if it's too close, but if this is wrong, call us up and we'll get it changed.
Betty Jo just said she's getting phone calls. People can't hear you with your masks.
They can't hear me?
Both of you. Betty's getting phone calls.
Oh.
Oh, we never had that problem before. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna take this off. Let me see. The last screen. We're hearing that we can't be heard. So let me go over this again. These are the various cards that you'll get in your packet, depending on the parking selection you made. If this is incorrect, when you get your packet, please call us right away and we'll get it changed out for you.
All right. That's our arrival cards. Everyone will get an arrival card telling you what day you need to arrive. And that a lot of it depends on what your activity is. If you're a volunteer, you're going to come in a little bit earlier than others. If you are, if you're just a general registrant, you'll come in either the 8th or the 9th. So that's the card that you will put in your windshield as well. Now, if you wish to come in a little bit earlier, you can and pay an additional fee of $30 to be parked right away or to park in dry camp in our holding area until it is time for you to park. So, if you come in earlier, the day earlier than what your card says, you can stay that extra night. Now, our holding area does not open until Sunday, March 7th. So that is the earliest you can come in unless you have other business there, such as RV Basics or the driving school, or you are a volunteer in another capacity. We'd love for everybody to come in as early as possible, but we have to get the thing set up before we can allow folks to come in. So we ask for your cooperation that when you do come in, understand that there may be a chance for you to stay earlier. You have to go to the holding area. Don't go to where we're asking you to park necessarily. You need to go to the holding area, and that's where you will stay overnight, or that's where you will pay the additional fee to get parked early.
You review these real quick.
Yep.
Okay.
That one there is if you are disabled and you're going to be parked in the disabled lot, you're going to get a card like that, which will indicate to our parking team that you get parked in the disabled lot. This card, this is for our advanced crew. This is for all the folks who are coming in early to help set the thing up.
And park you.
Right. Flip that one a little bit, Barbie.
Oh.
That's for our frustrated maestros. Anyone who is a frustrated maestro and has signed up to participate will get a card like that indicates to our parking team that they need to be parked in the frustrated maestros area. We also have a coffee hour area. If you volunteer for that, you'll be with the coffee hour folks. All volunteers get a V. That indicates to our parking team that you are a volunteer and should be parked in the volunteer lot. This next one, that is for RV Basics. So if you've taken the RV Basics class or going to, you'll get one of those to put in your windshield so parking team will know that.
These are mailed separately.
Yeah, our RV Basics and our driving and backing school will not come in that original confirmation packet. We will send you a later mailing in the next couple weeks that includes this and more information about arriving and some of the things going on with your classes. We got a couple more little cards to show. If you, I know there are a number of people who have full hookups, but there are many who don't. If you need to have your septic tank emptied or you need more fresh water, we do have a service on site who you can pay $25 to, and they will come and dump you, or they will add fresh water, I think up to 50 gallons. You just need to go and visit the folks in the information center, and they will sign you up and take your payment, and then they will come out and take care of your RV that afternoon or whenever it is scheduled. We do have, upon, if you need to get out and empty your tanks at the dump site, there is one on the grounds that you can use. We prefer that you don't do it when you show up. We prefer that you show up with empty holding tank, empty gray or black and full water. But we do have a dump station there if you need to do it before you leave, or you just need to do it at some point. You can't get to the septic service folks. Those are our ladies' luncheon tickets. For those who are signed up, and I think we only have a couple spots left, you will receive one of those in your confirmation packet, and then everyone who is registered will receive a $5 bonus buck. So if there's 2 people in your RV, you'll get 2. If there's 3 that are registered, you get 3. Every person will get one of those that can be used in the exhibit halls. All right, and that should be about anything you're going to find in that confirmation packet. And as Barb mentioned, if you open it up and you see that something's not right or not like you thought it should be, give us a call. We can go through your registration with you and determine what needs to be done, or if you have what you're supposed to have. Every year we do this, or every time we have a convention, we do have some things happen where folks get the wrong thing. As she mentioned, these are all done by hand. We don't have any kind of machine that does this. We look at your registration. We look at your label that goes on the envelope, and it basically tells us what you're supposed to get. Sometimes that information isn't correct, so we will go and get it fixed and get you whatever you need back out to you, as long as there's time to do it. If there's not, we'll put it at will call so you can pick it up when you arrive.
I want to mention that if you're a volunteer and you volunteered for coffee hour, you'll receive an extra envelope in your packet that has your instructions, your captain's contact information, and this V will all be in an envelope with that your activity card or seminar or whatever. And I do want to stress, we still need volunteers. We always need volunteers. So even if we missed you in this mailing, you get a hold of us, we can get you coded and send out that envelope separately again to you to get the information. So please, if you want to volunteer, we still have openings. Okay, here we go.
All right, we're going to start with some of the questions that you guys have sent in. I have some on my sheet, but we're going to go ahead and take care of some of the ones that have been sent in.
Does FMCA have any tire program discounts for trailer tires?
Joe, our tire program, this is more of a membership question than the events department, but I do know that we do have a number of tire folks. We have Michelin, Hankook, and who's the other one? Continental. We have tire programs with all 3 of those companies. If you go on the website and look under member benefits, you can find all kinds of information about the tire discount programs that we have here at FMCA, and it does include trailer tires.
Betty got on a little late, but she wanted to know just a quick review on the mailing.
Well, the mailing went out this week. Our early bird our extended early bird app ended on Wednesday. We began doing the packets on Wednesday and mailing today. So folks should be starting to see things the next couple days, or next week and the following week, folks will be starting to see their stuff. Now, I do want to say, and this is something that we'll be handling here in the next week. We had this COVID waiver, and many of you have seen it. Some of you probably have not. That needed to be agreed to. I have a number of folks who have not agreed to it yet, and they will not get their things sent out until we have that agreement. So I'll be working with our list of folks this weekend and early next week to make sure everyone has received the COVID waiver and has an opportunity either to agree to it or tell us no, you don't want to do it, and we'll get you canceled. This is something that everyone who attends will have to agree to, and if you can't agree to it, you choose not to, we are going to give you your full refund back. And we're sorry that you're not going to be there, but it's something that our insurance company we talked to. We had to do this in our risk management committee. They took great pains to do this, so we are collecting these agreements, and we've had pretty good success. But there are still some folks who have not done it.
We are currently scheduled to arrive on March 10th. Look, that's got to be an error. If we arrive on the 9th, will I be able to get parked in my spot? My parking spot is in handicap. I'm disabled.
Carl, we haven't. You haven't been assigned any day to show up yet, and quite honestly, you may be showing up on the 8th. The way it works is we send out arrival cards, as Barb showed earlier, and it has a date on it, and that date primarily is dictated by when you registered. If you're a first timer, you're going to come in the 8th. If you registered early on, you're going to come in on the 8th. If you registered probably in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll probably come in on the 9th. So it really just depends. We don't bring anybody in on the 10th because we want you in there and ready to go on the day we open the event, which is on the 10th. So we're not going to have you arriving and missing things that are happening. So we're going to bring you in at least one day, if not two, before the event starts. So you can get yourself settled in, get yourself acclimated, and be ready to go the morning of the 10th when we do open.
Well, we'll check your registration just to be sure it's not an error. Jessica said, will masks be required everywhere?
Masks are being required everywhere. Yes. I am requiring masks anytime you are outside of your RV to wear a mask. And I'm going to say this, and I want you all to understand, I want you to wear your mask, but I'm not going to be in the parking lots looking for folks who aren't wearing masks. I am going to be looking for folks who aren't wearing masks in the buildings and the activity areas around that are involved with the show. So, here's the thing about wearing the mask. It's not a punishment. It's to protect you, and it's to protect the folks around you and the folks who are attending this event. I want everybody to wear the mask as often as they are outside that RV. I don't want to see people without their mask on, but if you've been to one of these conventions before, you know how big the parking lots are, and it's up to you, personally responsible attendees, to wear your mask. And if you're someone who, if someone around you is not wearing your mask, if you want to say something to them, that's fine. If you want to walk away, that's fine. I'm looking for some personal responsibility here from our attendees, and I think, for the most part, people will follow this. They will follow it in the activity areas because we will demand that folks wear their masks in the activity areas, in all the buildings where the seminars are, and in the entertainment and the exhibits.
Are there any meals included?
No, we do not have any meals included. We have we have coffee and donuts in the morning. There's a ladies' luncheon that costs $15 if the ladies would like to sign up for that. But those are the only food activities that we have. We do have an ice cream social. I should mention that that's on Friday afternoon.
Will the aisles be wider? Multiple scooters really jam the aisles last time.
The aisles will be wider, and they will be one way. So everyone will be traveling in the right direction. There should be nobody coming in opposite directions to cause block-ups like that might happen if you have scooters going against each other. But everybody should be going in that one same direction, and the aisles are all wider. I think they're at least 15 feet, which is larger than the 8 to 10 feet that we've had in the past.
I recently attended the Tampa Super Show, and I was very upset about the lack of control with social distance. How will you make sure everyone practices social distancing? And
I can't make sure everybody does. I'm not going to have police out there telling you to social distance. We are, as I mentioned, the aisles are going to be wider. We're going to have one-way traffic. We're going to expect folks to social distance. We are going to demand that folks wear their masks, and if there is a problem with someone wearing a mask, we'll have them talked to by security, and if that doesn't help, we will have an officer talk to them about wearing their mask. And if that doesn't help, then we'll ask them to leave and we'll refund their money.
We put this show together with the hopes and the dreams that everyone's coming and will follow the rules. If you don't want to follow the rules, if this is out of your wheelhouse, then we ask that you just cancel now and we'll refund you. We're not here to have problems on site. We know what's going to happen. We have to be adults and follow the rules. Can I download the app ahead of time?
Nancy,
sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, Nancy, we're going to have the app. Usually it's about 2 to 3 weeks out. We'll have the app available for download. We have to make sure that everything in our program is accurate, which we're finishing up right now. Then that will be transferred over into our app, so we have everything in the app that's in the program, and it's all the same information. We have some other things to add to the app. And then once that's available, we will let everyone know that it is, how to download it onto your phone, and you can get started working with it. Typically, it's very easy to download, and like I said before, you should have no problems once you start playing with this. It's a great app. It's done by we've done it with a company called Crowd Compass. They've done these for companies all over the United States and other countries. So I think you'll be very pleased once you get on it and start seeing what you're capable of doing on this app.
Will a list of exhibitors be distributed or online in the upcoming weeks?
We do have a list. Yeah, we have a list of exhibitors that are already out there. If you go to the events tab at fmca.com and click on that, you'll see a listing for exhibitor directory, and you can click on that and see everyone who is exhibiting right now who is signed up.
Betty told us how great the app was in 19, and she did download it ahead of time. But then Barbara had some problems with it. So it might be something that, we'll have to look at on site or make sure her phone is.
Yeah, Barbara, I'm not sure what kind of problems you had. If you did, why don't you give us a call at some point here in the next couple of weeks, or when it comes out, we'll see if we can make sure that it's all straightened out for you.
Tracy wants to know the name of the app again.
Well, it's our events app, and it's called the Crowd Compass Attendee Hub. It won't be available until for a little while still, but we'll have it out for you a couple weeks ahead of time.
Yes, we do. Let's see. Yes, we do. More information. Okay, is that for the tire, the discount? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Back. For us first timers, can you give us an idea of how crowded it will be in regards to COVID safe practices?
Well, I'm not really sure. We're moving seats. We're going to have pods of 2 seats. So you and your spouse, partner, friend, whoever, will be able to sit with one another, but then there will be space around you. We're going to do that in all of our seminars. We're going to do it in all of our entertainment areas. Everywhere that you look, there's going to be spaced seating. We do not want folks moving the chairs. The chairs are separated for a reason. So if you see a couple chairs and you think, well, I want to go sit by my friends and move my chairs over, that's not the idea. The idea is to leave the chairs where they're at so people are spaced out. We'll be doing the same in everywhere we have. We don't want people moving their chairs. As I mentioned before, we have some distance going on in the exhibit halls where we're getting wider aisles, one-way aisles. I don't know that we'll ever have a situation where we are overly crowded. I don't see that happening. We are going to try and maintain that as much as we can. The coffee hour time is probably the time that I think we might have trouble, and maybe entering the entertainment area at times might be a little crowded going in. We're going to try and have all doors open so nobody has to touch a door handle. So those are the kind of things that we're going to be looking at doing throughout the venue to make sure folks are feeling safe. If we do find some situations where we're overcrowding, we'll take some measures to try and alleviate that and either disperse the crowd to a different entrance or exit, or try and get people apart. I would suggest if you think it's crowded, then it probably is crowded for you, and you should probably exit the area.
How many people are expected?
We are hoping for 1,600 RVs. Right now, we're at 1,200 registrants. So that's kind of where we are, right now, which gives you about 2,400 people if you times that by two. That's considerably less than the 2,600 RVs we had a few years ago. So for those who may have been here at that time, you're going to see a much smaller crowd. But I think it'd still be a great crowd that we have, considering this is the first time coming out through this whole COVID thing. I'm not sure. I didn't see any numbers, exact numbers on Tampa or Quartzsite, but it looked like they did fairly well. But it was probably half of what they'd done in the past.
Again, the app will be out soon. We'll be putting that out, instructions out for that. Mask required inside.
Yes, mask everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. I do. If you say you can't do it outside, then you have everybody walking around outside, and you have people in the RV displays without their masks. I want masks on, folks, everywhere in the activity areas. If you're riding on a tram, you got to wear a mask. If you're on a golf cart, you got to wear a mask. If you're walking down the street with other people, I want to see the mask on. We are putting Georgia National Fairgrounds, making it a mask area. And like Barb said, if that is something that you don't think you can do, well, maybe this is not the place for you to come. And that really hurts me to say that, because my job is to get as many people there as possible. But for this one, we have to go really safe for everyone who's coming. This is kind of a big step for us. It was not an easy decision, but we're going to do it the right way. And we're going to make sure that everybody leaves safely, or everybody's there safely and can go home and feel good about being there and not worried.
Will the public who comes in not in a motorhome have to get this COVID agreement?
We have a different agreement for them when they come in. It's not the same agreement that you guys will have.
Will there be a chapter fair?
No, there will not be a chapter fair. Unfortunately, the chapter fair draws large crowds all gathered around tables, which is absolutely not what we can have. We tried every which way to try and figure out how we could do it, and it just didn't make sense for us to try and do a chapter fair. And it's unfortunate, because our chapter fairs the last couple of years have been fantastic, really well attended, and hopefully we can get back to them, when we get to Gillette in July and going down the road.
Scroll up a little bit, Barb. There's some you skipped.
Oh.
Scroll up to the 50 amp question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think we were going the wrong way. We need to start the clock and go up.
Yeah, well, they keep adding. Where's the 50-amp question, please?
Here, I'll pop it up right there on screen.
Oh,
Michelle, yes, the 50 amp fulls are all taken at this time. Unfortunately, they don't have a whole lot at the fairgrounds. They probably only had about 80. So all the 50 fulls are taken. We do have 50 amp and 30 amp regular electric available, as well as generator parking and full gen, non-gen, that type of thing.
Are face shields okay instead of a mask due to health condition?
The only time face shields are okay is if you have a reason to wear that mask shield that your doctor has given you because you have other health issues. We are asking everyone to wear a mask. If for some reason you can't wear a mask, you must wear a face shield. But a face shield should not replace a mask for the general public.
The question is, when do we get the packet? They're being mailed now, so it'll be within the next, say, week or so. They're going out in batches, so it might, yours might be Monday. It doesn't go out, but they're on their way out now. Sorry.
That was what they're.
Oh, are you going to take temperatures of attendees going in and out of event locations?
No, we are not doing that. At Perry, it would be darn close to impossible for us to do it, because we have so many buildings and so many entrance areas that there's no way we could control it, quite frankly. I've also done some reading up that temperatures for everyone are different. So your temperature is different than my temperature and then Barb's temperature. So we are not going to do temperatures. We had looked into it. We couldn't make it. We couldn't figure out how to make it work. We do ask that you all take your own temperature. You know your temperature, so start taking it a couple weeks ahead of time at the same time every day. Know what your temperature is. And if you see that you have a high temperature, don't come. Don't come over to the fairgrounds. If you're not there yet, if you're on grounds, don't come over to the activity areas. That's a daily check that you should be doing yourself and not relying on us to do it, because by the time you come up there, if you have a temperature, you've already been around a bunch of people. So we want you to do that in your RV before you come over. You would know what your temperature is, and you would know if you have a spike in your temperature. In fact, quite honestly, most folks, if they have a spike in their temperature, they're going to feel themselves anyway. It's not just they're not going to feel great, and all of a sudden their temperature's up to 103 or 102 or whatever it is.
How many? Well, I think it was 100.4
100.4.
was the, that means you have a temperature, however that is with you. How many rigs attendees registered?
How many what now?
How many rigs? How many are registered?
We have about 1,150 RVs registered and another 50 passports.
Oh, good. First time coming without an RV, can I still volunteer?
Are you going to be doing a passport? I guess the question is how you're coming without an RV. So if you're coming with the passport, you can volunteer. If you're just coming as a participant, then we really can't have you as a volunteer. We have to have registered attendees as our volunteers per our insurance.
Carl, you mentioned tram. Should I not bring his scooter to get between places?
That's kind of up to you. I mean, we have trams, we have activity carts, which are 6-passenger golf carts that will move around. So it depends on how you like to get around and what's easiest and best for you. If you're comfortable using your cart or your scooter, I say bring it and go around that way. If you feel better using the trams or the golf carts, that's up to you as well. Maybe the weather has some factor in that. So, I think that's personal decision. I can't really tell you how is best for you to get around.
We recommend, riding your bikes if you want to. I mean, that's always good. Just have your independence. But there will be tram service, and for the disabled, there'll be golf carts. And then Vicki wanted us to kind of review the registration options. So can I real quick?
The registration. What kind of registration?
Yeah. What kind of? Let me see, what did she say? Can you explain registration options?
Well, you can register as a full registration where you would park on site, either by yourself, which is a one-person registration, or with a spouse or guest, which would be 2, or you can get a passport for 1 or 2 people. So those are kind of the starting options. And then from there, you would add your parking, which would be either 30 amp electric, 50 amp electric, 6 to 11 generator, full generator, no generator, external generator, external full generator. Those are kind of all the different parking options that you can choose from. And then once that happens, you register your guest, put in all the information for your guest, your name, information, all that, and then any kind of volunteer activities that either you or your guest would like to participate in, if that's something you want to do.
Will you be having block parties?
Unfortunately, block parties are also going to be eliminated at this event. It's unfortunate, but like chapter fairs, it's probably not a good idea to encourage large gatherings, which is what the block parties were intended to do. I love the block parties. I wish we could do them. I hope that's something that we can bring back in the future. The last time we did it at Perry, it was a great success. I know a lot of people had a good time and had a great sign-up opportunity for the chapters, which we're going to be missing both with the chapter fair and the block parties not being held. And it hurts me not to do those because it was such good time for everybody. But for this one, we're going to have to say no. We're not going to be able to support that, and hopefully, down the road we can get back into it again.
A lot of it had to do with food, and we just couldn't make it pull it together too because of the food distribution. Will you be I think I missed something. Okay. Will you have parking assistance for singles in motorhomes pulling a tow?
that's something, Al, that you're going to have to work with when you show up with the parking team. Typically, we don't, but we'll see how we can handle that. What they may do is they may have someone go get you parked and then bring you back to get your car, or have you take your car with you when you get parked. I would suggest when you pull in that you let the parking team know that you need some assistance in doing that, and they can help you get that worked out.
Did you scrap the bus idea, or back to trams?
We are doing buses still.
What is the difference between full registration and passport?
With the full registration, you are parking on site in your RV. With the passport, you are coming in with your badges and doing the same thing as anyone who would park on site, but you are either parking somewhere else or you are staying at a hotel.
We have an AIM registered with AIM. Will there be a car identifying AIM? She'll probably arrange for a caravan.
I haven't heard from AIM with the caravan yet, so I'm not sure what their plans are. I know Bonnie and them have registered, so they are all ready to go, but I just haven't seen anything from them. They will get caravan cards and be distributed to those who are participating in their caravan.
Is cost for RV basics per person, per couple? Same question for driving and backing classes.
The RV basics school is, if it's one person, it's $250. If it's a couple, it's $400. So basically, you get a $100 discount on your second person. For RV driving, it's $425 a person. For RV backing, it's $199, and that is a two-person. That's a two-person operation there. So you'll have one person outside helping direct the backing, and then one person actually driving and doing the backing.
There were a few more. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, right up here. I'm gonna just pop them up.
Who's the driving? You see that?
The driving school, the RV driving school instructors are the instructors. They're a great group led by the Maylabens. They've done a terrific job the last few years with us. They're known throughout the country. They have instructors throughout the country. And for us, they bring a number of those folks in to do these classes before the event starts. And great partner for us. Terrific driving classes. Nothing but rave reviews from all the people who have done them with them. And I think, if that's something that you feel you really would like to participate in or need, or your spouse or partner does, I highly recommend it. They're a great group to work with.
We are taking RV basics class. Will our card reflect that early?
Yeah, if you're taking RV basics, we'll be asking you to come in on March 6th. You'll park, and then the class will start on March 7th. You'll have 2.5 days, 7, 8, and 9, half day 9 for your class, and then once that's finished, then we'll go straight into the convention. You can start doing your activities that afternoon for the convention. But we'll ask you to come in on the 6th, get you all set up, and then you can kind of check around and see where you're at and where you're going to be going. For our RV Basics participants, we will have parking near the building. That's going to be in the Heritage Hall. We also will have a couple vans that will run around to where the RV Basics folks are and give you a ride up if you do not have transportation to that.
Can we get our rigs weighed?
We do have a weighing service. It will be done by the RV. It will be done by RVSEF, and there'll be information in your confirmation packet about that. They will take when you are on site. You can meet with them and schedule the weighing. It will be done following the convention. It will not be done during the convention. So what will happen is when you're set to leave, they will give you instructions on where to go to get weighed.
Will there be food to buy on site?
Yes, we will have numerous concession areas. There's a Rockers restaurant. Pardon me. So there'll be plenty of food on site. There are also some restaurants nearby, grocery stores nearby. Something new we're doing this time is we are setting up a dedicated delivery area. So if you want to have food delivered or you want to have groceries delivered, you can set that up. We'll give you a location to send that delivery service too, so they don't have to hunt through the whole campground, all the campgrounds to find you. You'll go and meet them at that delivery service area, pick up your food or your groceries, and then head back to your RV.
I contacted the Perry Chamber, and they have several grocery stores offering that service. So that's something unique. It's something I've always wanted to have happen, and now here it is. So that'll be nice for you. And then we had, of course, this is if you need to, they want to cancel. If you want to cancel, it's very easy. You have to have it in writing though. It's cancel, the word cancel. It's an email, cancel@fmca.com. And just put it in writing. Please include your F number and your name so we can get you located quickly. Tell me again how to get the COVID waiver.
We have sent out the COVID waiver to email addresses 3 times now, and apparently some people still are not getting them, and that's either because they're going into your junk or spam mail, or it's being rejected for some reason. And I will be going through the list of those who have not responded to the COVID waiver this weekend and contacting folks directly with a link for you to click on, open up the COVID waiver, and then agree to it or read it and then get back to me and say you don't want to agree to it. But I'm going to start on that this weekend. There's about 300 names. It's not going to be an easy, quick process, but for some reason I've gotten, that number who have not responded to the 3 emails I've sent out so far. I know a number of people have said they haven't received it, but the email addresses that I see are correct according to what they have. So I'm not sure what the problem is as far as them not getting that.
There's one more on top there.
Okay. Go ahead. Will the public who comes in not in a motorhome?
The public who come in will have a different type of thing than what you all are being asked to agree to. It's very similar, but it's not the same agreement exactly.
We are new owners and members. Is there a list to get on for anyone who may cancel since the event is full?
If you are interested in getting on a wait list, first of all, we're not full, and there's a misconception that the event is sold out, and that's not true. Our 50 amps and our 30 amps are sold out, but we have plenty of 30 full hookups are sold out. Our 30 amp and 50 amp electric only, and then our other parking are available and will continue to be available. If you would like to be on a wait list for our 30 amp full or 50 amp full, you can send us an email to convention@fmca.com with some information about what type of parking you're looking for, your telephone number, your name, that kind of thing, and we will get you on a list. And if those spots do open up, we will get that information out to you to make a decision if you do want to sign up for it.
One of the Facebook users said he checked his spam, and sure enough, there was the email. So that might be good. Everybody check your spam folders.
Yeah, I know, I've had a couple like that. So, we do send these emails out, and sometimes, you're depending on what your spam or what your different junk mail folders or things, what they read out, that may have happened for people. So we're going to try and get that cleaned up as much as we can the next 3 or 4 days, 5 days, so that everybody has a chance to look at it who is registered.
Is
COVID waiver per rig or per person?
The COVID waiver, you will get asked the participant, which is typically the person who his name is been registered in. That person will agree on behalf of everyone in their registration. So if it's a wife, or partner, or spouse, whoever it is, husband, whoever clicks that is clicking for everyone in that registration, all guests, anyone attached to that. And the names will be included who are attached to your registration, who you are agreeing on behalf of.
We have a question from Eric. He said he wants to know what the facilities are for Class Bs.
If you have a Class B RV, which is the camper van kind of RVs, um, we do have a special parking lot put aside for those folks if they want to park in that area. They certainly don't have to, but if they want to park, amongst the other Type B motorhomes, they just have to follow the directions in the confirmation packet. We'll have them coming in the Starbuck Road entrance off of Alco. And if they just follow that, once they get there and get checked out by our parking team, they will lead them directly to where they need to get parked.
Well, I think it was along the same. We have a 20-foot motorhome and we'll be in a 30 amp full hookup spot. Can we put a screen house behind the motorhome?
Basically, you have your space, your parking space. So you can put whatever you want in there as long as that does not disturb those around you or become a problem to others who are parked nearby. I don't see any concerns about what you have as long as you don't push yourself out into the street. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to do that.
Do you have any sort of dates when that waiver could have been emailed so they can kind of look? Mike might know.
Oh,
They were put out on
it's been the past 3 weeks. We've sent it out 3 times. So
once a week about.
yeah, it has.
One was
been
2
done.
days ago. I think.
Yeah,
One was 2 days ago for sure. Ready.
and if I want to make sure that folks understand if you might be listening, maybe the registration is under your husband or your wife's name, and maybe the email went to them. It's whoever is the main participant, the main registrant. That's who will be getting the email.
Tracy wanted to know if there's a possibility of FMCA canceling the convention if not enough attendees, 1,200 versus 600.
I have not been told that we are going to cancel this convention. It was discussed about whether we should have it in the first place, and we are going ahead and having it. If the government, the U.S. government of Georgia tells us that we need to cancel, we will obviously do so. But other than that, I have no inkling or indication that we are going to be canceling this event.
The vendors are so excited to have you guys, to get you guys in front of them.
And we have a great turnout from our vendors. They are excited to get back out there and talk to folks and get back to their normal life.
Another vendor question.
Yes.
Yes, vendors were everyone who is a registered attendee will be signing a COVID waiver, whether they are an exhibitor or an attendee.
Mike Walker hasn't. He has not gotten the waiver. Just looked. So
No, we will. Like I said, I know there's a bunch of people who haven't, and we will get with you either by email individually or by telephone to see what the problem is. Maybe we don't have the right email address for you. It could be all kinds of reasons.
you just mentioned Class B parking area. I have 30 amp electric. We'll still be able to park there.
We do have 30 amp parking in the Class Bs with the road treks and those type of camper vans. Yes.
Thank you. This is from Betty again. I do see a blank one for rally leaders for our rallies that we might fold. I keep checking, doing your job. Many getting vaccine as we speak. I know, yay! I checked my spam, no COVID waiver. We just have registration email.
We'll get with folks. We will get with you. We'll make sure. We're going to make sure everybody is contacted in some fashion or form on this COVID waiver. It's quite an undertaking to get this type of thing done. And it's particularly difficult because for a lot of folks who registered early, it wasn't available yet. For folks who have been registering since the end of December, I think maybe a little bit before that, the COVID waiver has been part of the online registration, or when you phoned in, it's been explained to you. So it's been very easy lately. It was those folks who registered at the beginning, which are the majority of people, who we missed from the get-go, and that was because our risk management committee wanted to make sure that it was the way it needed to be, and they wanted to make sure the wording was correct and everything was done accurately, so we didn't have any go-backs where we had to redo these.
We're taking the Class A drivers and backing courses through March 8th. Will we then just drive park in the convention site on that afternoon?
What you'll do is once your classes are completed with the driving school, they will instruct you where to go to. Basically, you will go to wherever it is that your directions say to park. So if you have 30 amp electric, you'll follow the directions to get to the 30 amp electric entrance. If you have disabled parking, you'll go over to the north entrance and come in there. So what you'll do is you'll leave the grounds and then you'll come back in where your directions tell you according to what type of parking you chose.
Betty's very excited.
Well,
We're excited to have you. We are.
We have any more
Any
questions there?
Looks pretty good. I kind of tried to skip if we talked about it. But
Okay.
Oh, pets in the showroom.
Yeah. Can pets go in the showroom, center, or activity areas? The answer to that is no pets are allowed inside the buildings, and that is a Georgia National Fairgrounds rule, not necessarily my rule. The only exception are service animals, but pets are not allowed. We will have some pet areas specifically for our dog walk, which is over on the east side of the horse barn. They'll be indicated on the map. So there will be some areas that you can go and let your dog run around for a little while, but they are not allowed in any of the buildings unless they are service animals. Let's see if there's any more. No, it looks like we're good unless we have some more that have popped up there.
That's about it.
Yeah. Well, we went a good hour. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Answer a lot of questions. Folks, if you have more questions, please feel free to send them to us at convention@fmca.com. We'll be happy to answer. Or you can give us a call at 800-543-3622. Just ask for someone in the events department, and we'll get you an answer to whatever your question might be. As I said, we'll be looking to capture the rest of these COVID waivers over the next few days. So if you haven't done it yet, look for an email sometime soon here or a phone call to find out how we can get this done with you. I'm going to be calling, or the calls are going to be made, or emails are going to be sent out according to when you registered. So it's going to be mostly folks early on who registered the earliest. So if you registered in October and haven't seen the waiver, more than likely you're going to see something from me here in the next few days, and then we'll just go through the list as they register like that. We do want to make sure we're getting folks their credentials out as soon as possible. We don't want to be holding on to those while you folks are all waiting for them. Barb, you got some other stuff you want to talk about?
Well, I want you guys to kind of, just know we're taking all the precautions we can, and we're taking, baby steps, trying to make it as safe as possible. This is our first time out in a year, and we don't want it to be, delayed again. So, if this is a little bit smaller and a little more rules, we'll just work as best as we can and try to everybody kind of self-manage also, and we can all do this together. One thing I want to, a couple more questions coming in, but I do want to mention that I got another book for the Supersize Book Club. This Jerry Allman, she wrote this fantastic book. A lot of you can relate to this. It's fun. She's an author from Georgia. Do you believe it? I found another one. And she's going to be there. She's actually going to camp with us. She's a member, and she's going to camp with us. She'll be around to chit chat with you. And the book club's on Saturday at 1:00 in Seminar 1. There's information I don't know where it's at, right? It's going out in e-blast and that type of thing, how to sign up. I'd love to know you're coming in advance, just so I have enough seats and enough space. And buy the book, and then she'll be there to sign it and talk about it. It's always fun. Thank you for that. And I do want you to know that on FMCA.com, there is, under the events tab, there's Information Central. And you can go on there if you have a question. It's very easy to use. And we try to keep that updated with the most current information that we can.
Let's see.
Can you go over how will we enforce? There we go. I can read better now. The mask, social distancing in the vendor area. Many vendors not 65 and will not have their vaccine. Some older people who've had their vaccine might not feel a need to wear a mask.
Everyone is wearing a mask. Everyone, whether they have the vaccine or not, it does not matter. Masks will be worn everywhere in the facility. If they are not worn, folks will get reminded to wear them. If they do not like that suggestion, then we will have other folks talk to them. And if they refuse to wear it, then we'll ask them to leave. It's that, just plain and simple. It's a cut and dry thing. There's no ifs or buts, or it's you wear it, you stay. You don't wear it, we're going to ask you to leave. Plain and simple.
Can you post the COVID waiver on the event info page?
I can post the paper one, but that means you're going to have to print it out, sign it, then mail it back to me or email it to me. I'm going to send folks an electronic link. I will also send in that electronic link the paper version or the file version that you can fill out if you choose to. But this electronic version, if you click I agree, it goes straight into your registration, and it has that you have agreed to it. So it's much easier to do it this way, but I will put that, I will get that thing out there. Y'all want to fill it out and send it in, we can certainly do that.
Nancy wanted to know if the book was good for a widow. She had lost her husband. Nancy, I don't know about that, but I'm sure you've got a lot of memories of traveling with your husband and how crazy those times were. And I'm sure you two could reminisce a lot. And I want you to know too that we have a solo, I have 2 seminars for solo women RVers, and she is a great, fun person. And you should attend her class because she's going to tell you how to do it. And I'm so proud of you staying out on the road. You get lots of questions.
I thought there was another one that I saw.
Site map.
Bob asked about a site map of the parking venues and buildings. Yes, we will have a map available. It won't be in your confirmation packet immediately, but it will be available in the digital program that'll come out a little bit later, along with in the app. It'll come in your like I said, in your regular printed program, and there'll also be large maps in your welcome bag as well.
Thank you. See you in March. Stay safe. You too, Barbara. With the general.
Go the other way.
Barbara.
The general parking, we are going to instruct our folks, since we have space, to stretch those out a little bit. We've usually made our spaces 25 feet wide, and we are going to make them a little bit bigger. We can't do that in our electric parking areas, but our general parking, we can do a little bit of playing with that to make them, to give folks a little bit more room.
Will the general parking have more distance than in the past?
That's what I just said.
Oh. I didn't read it, so I didn't know. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Single solar. Okay. And we're happy about the single solar RVers. Tracy's looking forward to seeing that.
Well, that's good. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. It's been, as Barb said, it's been actually a year and a half since we've done one of these. Since we got close to Tucson, but it didn't happen. We certainly are looking forward to going back to Perry. I just want to share, we're going to make this as safe as possible for you. It does require some responsibility on everybody's part, but we're going to take the necessary steps to try and keep everyone as safe as we can. There's no guarantee of anything, but we're going to do what we can. to make it a good, safe experience for everyone who attends. And I do want to say, and if you're not comfortable doing this, don't do it. Um, Everyone has kind of their feelings about where they are with this, and I know that there are a lot of folks who went to the Tampa show and had a great time, who are out in Quartzsite having a great time. I'm sure there are folks who usually go to those shows who didn't go this year. So it's very understandable, but it's important that you do what makes you feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, I really, as much as it hurts me to say it, I encourage you to not come and to call us and cancel. And I don't like saying that. I don't want to say it, but for this show, I think it's important that you know that. It's it's a different time, and hopefully we'll be done with this before too long, and we can go back to having the kind of fun we did before. Um, so until we meet again, and I'm not sure if we're going to do another one of these. We had talked about not, but then maybe we think we probably should do something in February. So if we do, we'll send some more information out so folks, if they have additional questions, can bring them to us. So wish everyone a great weekend, and Barb, you have a good weekend too. You'll be working. We'll both be working, but we'll have a good weekend working.
Working.
So y'all take care, and hopefully we'll be able to see y'all in March down in Perry, and you know you'll recognize me and Barb because you've seen us with our masks on now, so you'll be able to recognize us then as well. So everybody take care, and have a safe weekend, and God bless, and stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Take care.